see here. Okay, what other entertainment? Okay, so now we're gonna talk about this is my favorite part. This is gonna be like the meat of this, but we're going to talk about films that I watched this month. Technically, this month is not over. Today is the 24th, so there's still a possibility I'm going to watch some more movies this month. I don't think I'll be reading anything else. Yeah, so if there's anything else I need to add, I'll just record later and I might be adding to this, but for right now, this is what I have. So yeah, so we're going to talk about films that I've watched this month, which hasn't been a lot. I haven't really consumed a lot of entertainment this month. This month I've been just making videos a lot. I've been recording and editing. That has been a big part of my time this month. Films. Now, if you don't know, I do have other videos on my channel talking about films because I am a cinephile. I love particularly old movies, so I love movies. I'm a big movie buff, like TCM. Love TCM. And actually, I really love horror movies. I have Hortense here to talk about scary movies. I love her. But yeah, I really love horror movies, so a lot of these are actually horror, so if that's not your cup of tea, sorry. I didn't really watch a whole lot of movies yet, but I'm going to share what I have watched. The first film that I watched this month, which is actually not horror, it's the only non-horror, but it's still kind of a darker type of film. I watched Beat Girl from 1960, which I have wanted to see for years, and it's on Tubi, so that's where I watched it, and I was like, yay, I can finally watch this. It is a British film, black and white, and it stars Gillian Hills, who is my favorite French singer, who is not actually French, but she sings a lot of French music back in the 60s. This was her first film.
Juvenile delinquents' first vice. Either adult vices, sex, and the like are disapproved of. Or perhaps you even disapprove of this? Love. That's the gimmick that makes sex respectable, isn't it?
And I feel like it's a neo-noir, but let me look it up. Big Girl. Okay, so it's actually a British teen exploitation drama film. I love exploitation films, so yeah, I love the like juvenile delinquent types of movies from the like 50s, like B movies from the 50s and 60s. I love like very niche categories of film. So yeah, this is one of my favorite types of film. So yeah, this is the first film that I watched, and I'm not going to really say what the films are about, and because, you know, I just kind of want to share them with you and then you can check them out if you're interested. I just kind of want to give a little general whatever, because I think the less you know going into a film, the less expectations you have and the more fun it is. So just kind of sharing what kind of film it is. I actually really enjoyed this one. It's very like beatnik, the music, the lifestyle, really fun. I think if I had been born at another time, I would have definitely been part of the beat generation. Going to the cafes, the coffee shops, just listening to jazz sounds like would have been so much fun. I wish that was still a thing because I would totally love to go to like a jazz cafe and just chill, but it's just not life anymore, so
Hey, Tuck. Hey, Gas, are you looking for me?
Fall down, juvenile.
Bad. Not bad.
Oh, you're such a notch, aren't you?
So that's kind of just general concept of this movie. I love beat slang, beatnik slang. I love just old slang, so it's got some fun slang in it, and yeah, I loved this one. And there is actually, I don't want to spoil anything, but if you don't want to know anything, this isn't really gonna spoil anything, but if you want to know nothing going in, there's a strip scene, like a burlesque scene, and I have never seen such suggestive dancing in a film so old. I was like, whoa. So that was fun. Yeah. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that one. I would definitely check that out if that sounds like something that would appeal to you. So now we get to the horror. I can't recommend horror if you don't like horror. Like, there might be particular horror films that I'm like, yeah, you know, this is one that I think you should see. But if you don't like horror, you're like, I can't really be like, yeah, go watch this, because you're not gonna like it. But if you are a horror buff, then I will definitely say which ones you should check out and which ones are like crap. But I also love bad movies, and I think a lot of horror people probably do appreciate bad movies, just as I do, because that's kind of part of the charm of horror movies, especially older horror movies. I actually think I watched all of these on Tubi. Tubi is great because it's free. You can download it on your phone, you can get it on your TV if you have a smart TV, and it's free, and so much. Especially horror. I find a lot of horror on it. So, okay, so this one I watched earlier in the month, and it's called Night of Fear from 1973. This one, I don't know if it was cut, because some of the films on Tubi are actually cut versions, which sucks because they cut stuff out, and I don't recommend watching cut versions because why would you want to miss stuff? I don't know if this was cut because I feel like it was only like 70 something minutes, and it was weird and it didn't really make sense, and it was definitely bad. There was like no talking in it. There was no dialogue. So it was kind of strange. Yeah, I wouldn't really recommend it, but if you like horror, I mean, check out all the horror. So it was just kind of weird. I don't have much to say about that one. And then, okay, this one I do have more. So then I watched Satan's Children from 1975. And this one I feel like as a horror film, I would definitely check this one out if you like this kind of movie. So it makes sense to me now because there were in the 70s, like the 70s and late 60s, had a lot of just weird movies, especially horror. There was a lot of satanic types of movies made at the time, and like vampire and stuff like that. And I get it now why there were so many like Satan focused movies from this time, because Satanism was established in the late 60s, and following that, there was this influx of films created around this topic because it was kind of like a hot topic at the time. So you have a lot of satanic movies, you know, dealing with Satan and satanic rituals and like stuff like that. Yeah, so this one, Satan's Children, it, you know, deals with satanic stuff, but it is a very gross misrepresentation of what Satanism actually is. It's kind of like all of the stereotypical things that film and media have created Satanism out to be. Take this movie as just pure entertainment. It's not an accurate depiction of Satanism. Like, they claim, you know, homosexuality is bad in the film. Homosexuality is actually very much supported in Satanism. Like, okay, this is how I will phrase this to not actually spoil the film. This is for educational purposes, but Satanists support the LGBTQ community. They support homosexuality. It's not a sin in Satanism. They do not actually worship Satan. Satan basically isn't real. And I guess some sects, because there's different sects of Satanism, just as there are different sects of Christianity. they do not actually, in the original Satanism that would have been what was inspiring all of this at the time, they do not worship Satan. They're not actually going to an effigy of Satan or Baphomet and being like, oh, Lord Satan. They're not actually doing that. That's like false representation of Satanism. They're not actually worshiping Satan. They do not sacrifice anything living, humans, animals. That is incorrect. That is a fallacy. That is just kind of a disclaimer going into this film. It's purely entertainment, but it is a very, very false representation of Satanism. But however it became skewed at the time, this is what they made it out to be in cinema and in the media. And this is what a lot of people think to this day Satanism is. And it's just not. That's just not what it is. Yeah, watch this film for entertainment purposes only. I would definitely recommend it if you like horror, if you like Satan-y movies. I'm also going to just give a trigger warning, which, I mean, probably all horror movies would need a trigger warning, but this one in particular I will give a trigger warning because there is rape in it. So that in particular, I could have done without that part. Anyway, so that is that movie. It was, you know, weird old kind of bad movie. That's kind of what all of these are. But I like that type of movies. So that, yeah, you might not like that. Okay, so the last movie that I just recently watched the other day, and funnily enough, these are all chronological. I didn't do that on purpose. I just happened to watch them all in like ascending order of year. This last movie is from 1982 and it is The House on Sorority Row. So now we're getting to the 80s. Now we're getting to prime era of horror and gore and the slasher film. So yeah, this one was more, you know, 80s. But yeah, so if you like kind of sorority horror, because that's definitely a niche category, this one was fun. So yeah, I'm not really gonna say much, but yeah, so that's that one. House on Sorority Row. Yeah, so I don't think I have anything else to say about them. So those are all the movies I watched this month so far. And then shows, I don't really watch a lot of shows or a lot of TV. I just haven't been really watching a lot of shows. The only thing I'm going to mention that I have been watching is the Spring Baking Championship. That's all I've been watching. A lot more. Total juxtaposition from the films I've been watching. But I am going to share YouTube content that I have been watching. Yeah, so this month and last month, I fell down the rabbit hole of snake and reptile content. I've been enjoying snake content, and particularly, that was very jolty, particularly I have been watching Snake Discovery. So anyway, I'm really loving Snake Discovery, and I'm really loving snaky stuff. Like, I love them. I just love, like, hognose snakes are so freaking cute. I just, yeah. So anyway, that's my whole thing with that. I also, if you know, watch my videos and like, and all of that good stuff, that's really going to help me in turning my snake dream into a reality. So yeah. And then I could make snake videos, which would be a lot of fun. So if you want to see that later in the year, help me get there.